Basketball fans, what's going on? And welcome to another edition of the All Basketball Podcast. And it's your host, Maurice Dixon, coming to you on June 2nd. And obviously, June equates with the end of the NBA season and the finals begin June 3rd tomorrow. Then we got the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs. 7-game series, 4-all. First time these teams will meet in the finals since 1999, when they met back in the shortened season when Tim Duncan, David Robinson took the series in 6 over Sprewell, Allen Houston. Ewing was injured. Marcus Camby played in that series. Jaren Jackson getting dunked on by Sprewell. You see highlights of Avery Johnson hit that baseline shot that pretty much sealed that series for the Spurs. And Tim Duncan just...
Something went wrong. Please try again.
2 years in, getting that championship, accomplishing a rare feat of being so young, but joining an experienced team and getting that, although shortened season, but 99 title. And this is the Spurs' first time back since 2014. And they've been there. Went back in 03 and won it, 05 and 01 it, 07 and 01 it. 13 went back, lost to Miami in 7 games, and then 14 responded to winning 5 to avenge the crazy loss to the Heat. So Spurs are back in the finals, first time in 12 seasons, and the Knicks since 1999. The area's been desperate. New York fans have been desperate. Felt like they had a chance last year, especially after they beat Boston with those comeback victories. But Indiana got in the way, and they decided to give Thibodeau the axe, Tom Thibodeau, and bring in Mike Brown. And it's worked out this postseason. The Knicks have, in order of taking out the Hawks, who got 2 games in that series, but then they end up sweeping Philly and Cleveland to get to this point. And on the other side, San Antonio taking out Portland in 5, Minnesota in 5, and then OKC in 7 on the road. The Spurs defying history, saying screw history. And this is an anomaly. Sometimes this happens. It just doesn't happen that often, where a team that didn't make the playoffs last year, haven't made the playoffs in quite a while, or on quite a drought, for a team that went, I think it had to be like almost 20 straight seasons or something crazy. But Tim Duncan pretty much spent his whole career in the playoffs. And they won a drought, got Wembanyama in the process, got Castle, hit on that pick, who should have been the first pick of that draft over Ricochet. And but everybody was caught up on the France talent after the Spurs got Wembanyama, who's just 3 years in, and they hit right again. I mean, I thought they were going to get flagged in the lottery last year, but they ended up getting Dylan Harper. They were just 1 pick away from getting the first pick. Get Dylan Harper. Doesn't have a much team success at Rutgers as a freshman alongside Ace Bailey, but comes in and just has been playing great, getting to the hole all season, hitting timely shots from deep or from the mid-range, playing good D, and number 2 pick worked out. I think he finished 4th in the Rookie of the Year rankings behind Edgecombe, Knipple, and obviously Flag, who won it. So um, it's just working out for the Spurs. I mean, worst to first story. And as far as this finals, it'll be they're gonna be playing another experienced team. New York. I mean, nobody is on that squad. Key players I know they haven't made it this far either. Just making the East Finals the past few seasons, but well, this season and last season. But Towns has had a good amount of experience with winning the West Finals with Minnesota, and then came East and went to the East Finals right away with the Knicks. So Brunson as well, but should be quite a matchup. I'm not even though the Spurs were like pretty much second overall in the NBA all season, I think this is going to be a long series. I would be surprised if it's a sweep, 5 games. Expecting at least 6 games. I'm picking the Spurs, despite their youth, to get this in 7. Now I'll speak more on that later. As far as his matchup, I mean, obviously Wembanyama, I mean, he's tough matchup for everybody. I mean, 7'4", dribbling like a guard, shooting. Stretch Armstrong out there, go gadget, blocking everything near the rim. So definitely going to cause some matchup issues. But one thing with the type of lineup New York has, everybody pretty much can, in that starting lineup, can shoot pretty well besides Hart. But I mean, if you leave him open enough, he showed you in that it was game 2 against Cleveland, hit a bunch of threes, but he won't just settle, but he can have a game here or there. Then Anunoby's a threat, Bridges, obviously Brunson, and definitely Towns. So Wembanyama's not going to be able to stay as close to the rim as he probably would like or could against OKC, because New York has more respectable shooters. They also have experience. And so, on the other side, you got Fox, who's experienced, over the ankles, in much better shape, with a few days rest, because it was just coming off of.
Sorry, something went wrong. Please.
Sorry about that. Something went wrong. What was it? Tuesday? Just finished playing Saturday, game 7. And the finals start this Wednesday, obviously. And so, I mean, so they're guys, you look at the matchups, I'm sure Castle and Harper going to make it tough for Brunson. Wembanyama's going to make it tough for Towns or whoever he's guarding, whoever's coming to the hole. Penny plays strong D. I guess I expect him to match up with probably Bridges and Anunoby maybe. Just going to depend. From what I've heard, it seems like we'll see. It's to be seen how much Towns actually defends Wembanyama, or if they kind of go with how OKC did it with Caruso or Dort, shorter, I should say, but guys with just the same amount of weight on them or a good amount of strength. And what the numbers have shown when Anunoby is matched up with Wembanyama this season, he's given them some problems. So I think he's done maybe the best job on him, just because he's strong. He's 6'8", maybe matching him in weight, but he has the lowest center of gravity since he's not as tall. And so And he looks stronger. I mean, you can look at the two guys to see, okay, who's probably stronger. And it's gonna be interesting to see that matchup. And I think that definitely I expect Castle to be on Brunson most of the time, and we'll see if Castle can limit the fouls, limit the turnovers, even though he shouldn't have to do much handling the ball because Fox is healthy and Harper comes in to back up Fox. So, and then it's just a matter of how Town shows up. The Knicks kind of switched to a more ball movement offense as opposed to Brunson just high screen and roll trying to get a certain matchup and him going to work. Since they kind of put Towns as the playmaker or up top or at the elbow or with guys cutting and moving, they've had much success. So we'll see how that shakes out definitely against a better defensive team. Cleveland was a good defensive team, but they had obviously a hole with James Harden and Mitchell. But as far as the Spurs, maybe De'Aaron Fox, but Harper and Castle, they play pretty good D. And maybe Champagne somewhat of a wink link, or maybe Vassell, who seems like it just seems like every time that guy shoots, I mean, he gets good looks because of Wembanyama and Fox and Castle. It just seems like it's always going in. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the matchups shake out there. And as far as but it's gonna come down to the best players. So I know New York has everybody's kind of on equal. I mean, Brunson, Towns, you're 1A, 1B, with Anunoby and Bridges coming up the rear. So a balance of talent across the roster. It's not so much like the Spurs where you have Wembanyama way up to a certain point, then you have a few levels down, and you may have Castle or Fox, and then pretty much just got shooters in Champagne and Vassell. They're not doing anything special with the ball or causing any type of crazy or difficult mismatch because they're more so spot-up shooters and not equipped with all skills on the level of creating for others. So, but as far as my pick, I expected OKC to be here. If you guys watched the last episode when me and other guys were on, everybody made their picks. I did get it right with New York, but San Antonio had that edge over OKC during the regular season, played them 5 times, beat them 4 times. And they experience didn't bite them in the butt, so to speak. So they got to the finals. But I'm going to go with them, but won't be surprised if the Knicks somehow just pull this thing out as well due to the experience. But the reason I'm not leaning heavily that way because I'll go here as far as Spurs won. They were excited, great accomplishment, but the thing that kind of made me take a second and be like, Victor Wembanyama crying. I mean, I know he's a young guy. He's shown his emotion before, but I just feel like, dude, you can't be crying after a conference finals win. Even though everybody knows there's another round, there's still something else to accomplish more than a Western Conference Finals MVP trophy and a Western Conference Finals trophy, but in a banner. But we still got the finals in a few days, and you gotta hold those emotions in check. Yeah, you can dap everybody up. That's fine, but I mean, hold a straight face. I mean, smile it up, but don't be giving us the tears of joy already. And that I was just kind of I was obviously surprised, but I was like, it was just one of those. Come on, man, no. But you can't let the Knicks. You don't want the Knicks to see this. You don't want the world to see this. Critics to see this. But it reminded me of when in '95, the young Orlando Magic, Shaq, Penny, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, veteran and already at the time the three-time champ Horace Grant. Um, they beat Indiana conference finals, and if you just watch the documentary, the 30 for 30, they were jumping around, and Shaq even admitted like they celebrated like they had won the finals. And on the other side, there was Houston, who was a 6 seed that season, and overcame deficits to get back to finals. Overcame an 0-2 hole, I know, against Phoenix, and I think that was in the first round. And got back to the finals, and Olajuwon, I mean, he went in. I mean, Drexler was key. Nick Anderson missed all his free throws because it seemed like Orlando had game one. They were rolling, and the game just flipped on them. They went to overtime, and Kenny Smith just got hot, and then the momentum just kept rolling in Houston's favor the rest of the way, and it was a sweep. And but I don't think San Antonio celebrated like that, or they may be mindful of that. They have Popovich to refer to and get everybody even keel and really refocusing on what's to come. But and the Knicks don't have. The reason I won't say the Knicks, I'm not picking the Knicks, is because they don't have a Hakeem Olajuwon over there. They don't have a Clyde Drexler. Towns is nowhere near Hakeem. I mean, and Brunson is a different player. And that's the only title Drexler got, even though he had led Portland to 2 trips while there. But so I think that's what'll save San Antonio, is the fact that they don't have a Olajuwon type player on that Knicks roster. But anything can happen. They got to get out there and play during the season. They met in they met twice, and then they also met in the Knicks beat the Spurs for the cup, the NBA Cup. So they know how to play these guys. They definitely pose a threat. So it's gonna be interesting to see how everything kicks off, and just remember, is whatever happens in game one, it's just game one, because Spurs came out, had to put on a great show. Wembanyama, like I think 41 and 24 against OKC in that first game, and but then OKC came back and won the next 2, and then everybody. Only reason people remember that game was probably because it was one of the best games of that series, because everything in between 1 and 7 was pretty much a blowout. And so so we'll see how it shakes out. Hope everyone stays healthy. Oh yeah, and I wanted also but as far as Wembanyama crying, I kind of thought about it a little more and came to understand that maybe since, I mean, last year he had the blood clots, and then the season before that he only played but so few games. I forgot what injury. Then he KO'd himself against Portland. I mean, head bounced off the hardwood floor, and he was concussed. So I mean, maybe he was just maybe he's just appreciating every moment and to get to the finals. And even though he's very young and hopefully has a lot more life to live and everything, he just kind of knows that, realizes that I mean, this one fall, anything, the blood clots, he just has a lot of perspective. Like, you don't get, and he probably knows you don't get these chances often. I mean, these windows are small, and this will be, I think, the 8th team to win. New champion we'll have since Golden State in 18, because we had the Raptors in 19, the Lakers in 20, the Bucks in 21, 22 you had Golden State, 23 Denver, 24 Boston, 25 OKC. So it's parity, and the window has been small, just like what took place in the 70s. It's like we're getting a repeat of that in this decade. So so we'll see how it all shakes out. Okay, so now I want to get to Oklahoma City. And as you guys probably know, of late, everybody's been there's been a lot of talk around what should they do, how should they address this. Even though they play 7 games, SGA was awesome in Game 7, but other guys like Chet Holmgren didn't show up. Then the other guys could only do so much because AJ Mitchell was out. And also who we know now is they're definitely the second best player in Jalen Williams, J-Dub. But they surprisingly went out. Great regular season, started off well. SGA won back-to-back, another MVP, back-to-back, but the Spurs were their kryptonite. They just couldn't. Seemed like they had them somewhat figured out, and they were but they couldn't close out Game 7 at home. I mean, they were favored. I think a lot of people expect them to win. Expect the Spurs youth to come into play and lead to their very successful run coming to an end. But OKC just couldn't put together, and a big reason why is Holmgren. I mean, 4 points. What do you have? 2 shots, and I didn't get to see much of the game earlier, but I heard that those shots came in the first quarter. So he played 33 minutes and just 2 shots, stopped shooting. Heard he looked scared, dribbling the ball off his foot, fumbling passes. Just look bad. Now they're gonna have to make some decisions because it's time to pay a lot of these guys. SGA's already got his contract. I think Jalen Williams too, J-Dub, and or is kicking in next season. And so is Holmgren's. He's gonna be getting at least $200 million over a certain amount of years. And do you really want to pay a guy who's, even last season, I was informed that came up, playoff time came around, didn't play great, and he just looked scared and timid against Wembanyama. I mean, shots too slow, definitely needs to work on that. Off the catch and shoot is just too slow. I mean, he's 7'1", and I know these other guys jump, they're about 6'7", 6'8", but seeing his shot get blocked multiple times by someone other than Wembanyama is kind of like, dude, come on. And just some of the shots he would take in the mid-range at the free throw line, he couldn't just pull up quick or keep the ball high. He would just look weak. And it's not going to cut it, because unless injury gets in the way, the Spurs, Wembanyama, these guys are going to be right there. This is probably building up to be like something like type of rivalry like the Kings and the Lakers had, or the Lakers and the Spurs and the Mavs, where you're going to be meeting in the later rounds in the coming season. So, I mean, I know dude's still young and everything. I think just turned 23 at the beginning of last month, but you got to get stronger for one. I mean, should be working out right now while I'm doing this show. I mean, because he just look, he just looking weak. And I mean, 7 foot, you can dribble to a certain point. Maybe you tighten up the handle. I mean, they were talking about this guy before Wembanyama, and there's that famous clip of him at a younger age when he put that move on Steph Curry. I mean, I don't know if a couple of injuries. I know he had the foot injury his first season, then he had the hip injury. If those things have slowed him down, but I mean, if people want to profess that it's the most skilled there, and we're seeing a lot of skill from these big guys who can shoot and dribble, show it to us. Show it to Wembanyama. Stop being scared. I mean, and get stronger, or you're just gonna be known. I mean, referred to as a rag doll. Like Frank in the text, he said, "Home reminds me of a doll that's been stretched out and then just thrown away." That was a good one, Frank. I'm still laughing about that, but I mean, yeah, it's like they just show up like that in a game 7 at home is unexcusable. I mean, it's Ben Simmons like. I mean, we can't have that. So get better in the offseason. I don't know if you're gonna be on the team next year. I mean, the media's talking about it. I don't know if Sam Presti and that front office is considering making a move for Giannis or getting somebody out the draft, but OKC definitely has some things to think about, but maybe not so much too many things. I mean, J-Dub was hurt, Mitchell was hurt. AJ Mitchell, right? Yeah. Those guys hurt key perimeter players. And SGA did all he could. And I mean, Caruso had big games. Dort didn't play as much, which I thought was interesting. I didn't notice him at key moments. He wasn't out there. Maybe the shot wasn't falling to an extent, so he was kind of a liability on offense. So we can bring somebody else who's, it was Casey Wallace, somebody else who can make those shots, McCain. So, but I think they just need to adjust a few things. I mean, really no time to panic. I definitely don't like what I saw from Holmgren. What I read, the stat sheet in the game 7. So, if they make a move, they make a move. I mean, I'm with it, or I'm with running it back, or I'm for them making a move. I mean, I mean, they were right there. I mean, yeah, the Spurs are going to be there, but Spurs aren't going to win every year. I mean, and OKC, I mean, last season they benefited from the injury bug as far as other teams' competition. I mean, Halliburton in the finals. Who they? Denver in the West Finals. Gordon had a hamstring injury, so the injury bug just goes around. I mean, that's the time period of NBA basketball we're in, where pace is so fast. These guys are just hamstring or calf strains, and everybody is falling victim to it in some way. And it's always been a marathon to the end. You got 82 regular season games. Most guys aren't really playing. Key guys aren't playing near that number anyway. They're just making the 65 game mark to get those all NBA awards or be eligible for MVP and everything else. Um, so they're getting that. They're taking time off, but the pace is up so fast, and it's all the basketball they played maybe when they were younger. I mean, even though they come into the league younger, but the body is the body. It can only um, sustain, handle so much, and all those miles, all those jump shots, all that time on the hardwood. I mean, it's gonna catch up to you at one time or another, and it's just guys are getting injured, and they've always gotten injured throughout the history of the NBA. I mean, somebody key for the most part has always been injured at a certain point in the playoffs where if they didn't get injured, maybe a certain team wouldn't have advanced. So it can be an asterisk put next to everything. So um, it's going to be interesting to see how OKC not so much bounces back, but adjusts, or if they decide to um, let go of some of all those picks they required, and um, that has everybody saying they're gonna run things, and now they're saying maybe they won't run things because Wembanyama's ahead of schedule in the Spurs. So, but they got some decisions to make, and we'll see. Maybe draft night or free agency in a little over a month. As far as the other side, Cleveland getting swept. I want to go to that real quick. James Harden turned to James Harden again. Small game James. I mean, wasn't a surprise. More turnovers and made shots. He had a bad game against Detroit in that game 7, but everybody else came to play. And then these 4 games, I mean, I think he had a decent game 1, 2, but I mean, just the fact that game 1, y'all are up 20 to 22 points with 7 minutes left. And they blew that lead, lost in overtime. Merrill almost, Mike Breen was at his bang, his patented bang, almost out, and the ball rolled out. The Knicks took it in overtime, and I mean, they left James Harden out there. They kept switching easily. Coach Atkinson didn't wait too late to call timeouts and said he likes having his timeouts, but they don't carry over. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, and not having the what's a better word? I want to use a better word than what I'm thinking, but not having the just not being, I mean, thinking too much of James Harden's ego or what it might do, or the power that he may think Harden may have. He may have some power there. I mean, players pretty much kind of run the league. We know that. But not having the gall to sit him down. I mean, if they're picking on him, you let Brunson get hot, and they keep switching, and then you can't fool us and say James Harden is a good one-on-one defender. I mean, people know that's not true. That's just some bad comments coming from that side of the from that team as a whole. Coach, players, you can't leave the guy out there, and you see the momentum switching. You got to call a timeout. You got to make the right adjustment. And then for, I mean, him to Atkinson to say, it just sounded terrible, because I got where he was going, but I think it should have ended something like this. Oh, okay, if you're going to say, you're going to let the world know that analytically, you guys, you're in a 3-0 hole, but you've won, or you've been better analytically 2 to 3 games, then you have to finish that statement with, but, well, I guess that shows you that you just can't trust on analytics. Because analytics doesn't test it doesn't always pass the eye test. It doesn't it doesn't factor in how fast a person's heart is beating or how big their eyes are, um, how heavily they're breathing from the pressure. So for him to say that, I mean, say the thing about Harden's defense, it's just a bad look. I mean, even the analytics guys were looking at him sideways, like, I mean, you don't, you can't say stuff like that because at the end of the day, the final score, which is from the counting stats, from the times you put the ball in the basket, whoever has the final score wins, not who has a better net rating or this many wide open looks. That the analytics make those things, the analytics may count up. At the end of the day, it's final score. I mean, so you're better off saying so much for the analytics. I mean, we've been better analytically, but when the final horn sounded, the Knicks had more points than we had. That's why we're in a 3-0 hole. So it's just bad stuff. Then you had Donovan Mitchell. I'm pretty sure this was a real quote saying that people get on James Harden about his playoff performances, and obviously James Harden's had some good moments, but the bigger the game gets, the deeper in the series, he just gives you, as Chris Vernon puts it, concert date scores: 3 of 11, 2 of 12, bunch of turnovers. He might get some free throws, but I mean, he's miles far from the guy he is during the regular season. I know he's not in his prime like he was in Houston, but even against the Spurs when he was in Houston, he had that terrible game 6 where, I mean, just probably more turnovers than points, terrible shooting performance. He'll make 1 3, miss 7 8. No diversity in his game. If they're not giving him the foul calls when he's trying to flop and create contact for fouls, he's not getting that. So he just has no plan B. And for Donovan Mitchell to say that people get on him too much and they don't talk about how, I think it was how it took Jordan X amount of years to win his first title. And it's just like, nah, you can't do that, dude, because everybody has some kind of struggle or some different than others on different levels and everything. But this guy hasn't overcome that. Magic Johnson dribbled out the clock against Boston. He came back with the junior Scott Hook and got the Lakers their first win in a long time in the finals over. They used to lose when Jerry West was there. They used to lose repeatedly to Boston. They finally beat Boston in the playoffs. Nowitzki, 2006 wasn't that great against the Heat. 2011 against Bosh, Wade, and LeBron showed out and got the title nobody expected them to win. On the way there, they beat the defending champion Lakers. They beat the Thunder. I think may have been Denver, but they had one of the toughest roads to get across. Even Kobe with the air balls in Utah. I mean, he punished that franchise after that so much, but came back to make big shots and win 3 straight with Shaq and win 2 straight without Shaq some years later. So people have overcome playoff mishaps. The champs have. That's what makes you great. And James Harden hasn't done that. He's not going to do that. This is who he is. So Cleveland would be wise to not pay him as much money as I've heard they might pay him or he's expecting, because he's going to get the same thing. I mean, it's not Yeah, he's going to be pretty durable in the regular season. Have moments, play will help you get a good record. He's never missed the playoffs, so he can get you in the playoffs. But then, the deeper it goes, small, the small game James is going to make his appearance, and yeah, that's good. Definitely a step forward for the franchise this year as far as getting back to conference finals for the first time since LeBron was there, and Donovan Mitchell getting the conference finals for his first time in his career. But um, it's not it's not gonna happen with James Harden. I know you wanted somebody more durable because Garland was hurt, but uh, nah, it's not gonna happen with that dude. So, and I guess the other thing that's come across the getting people's attention is and I'm not gonna give him too much time. I know this is on the scale of this podcast. It's on the scale of his podcast with Max Kellerman. Well, this guy Rich Paul, man, it's just ridiculous, man. What he's saying, but I kind of get it. When you didn't, maybe because you didn't see Michael Jordan play, or you don't have that appreciation for him like I have and others. And I know as we go further along, people are going to continue to diminish. Like, he's over my shoulder, not this shoulder, but right here, his last shot in Chicago, '98 Finals, finishing 6-0 in the finals. Jordan and people have already started. They've been trying to diminish it for a while. Clutch people, analysts on TV shows, podcasts. There are a million voices out there diminish it, and a million voices defending it, saying y'all are crazy. But Scott, I mean, Rich Paul just at this point, I just think like when LL did cannabis, he had the line that went pretty much tell Wyclef don't even turn his mic on. I mean, that's what needs to be done to Rich Paul. I mean, this is just to say that without Pippen, Jordan would be 0-6 in the finals is ridiculous. But it's Rich Paul. He's known to say idiotic things. I mean, to say that or for LeBron to be ranked second behind Jordan is, I think it's like, that's ridiculous. That's insulting. I mean, really? Then to say something like this, I mean, Pippen was a great player. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I watched his best years. And when Jordan wasn't there, he had a great '94 season, but people will tell you it was a lot of distance and talent and skill between him and Jordan. I mean, and for this guy just to people are trying to build up Pippen more. We're not Jordan fans, former Bulls fans, or current Bulls fans, all-time Bulls fans. We're not reducing Pippen, but when you just see what Jordan was able to do and how amazing he was, you can't tell me that just because one guy wasn't there, he wasn't going to be as successful as he was. Yeah, it's a team game. Pippen played a huge part in that team's success, and he was there for the whole ride, all 6 championships. But there always has to be a leader. Jordan was that leader, and just to say silly stuff like that, it just has to be to get a reaction. Or I don't know if LeBron is telling him to say this stuff. I mean, I don't even think LeBron's that would just make him look bad. But who knows? I mean, they've been doing these type of things. Even when I saw the documentary that came on Vice about the Sonics, and how they were that time there. I mean, it was some good time, especially when Peyton Kemp. They went to the finals. And they kind of talked about how they lost to the Bulls in '96. The Bulls were 72-10 that season. But all the audio, all the sound bites, nothing was mentioned of Michael Jordan. And then they show a shot, and it's Pippen and maybe Rodman holding one of the trophies, but it's cropped because Jordan was right beside Pippen. For those of us who know. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, hold up, who made this? And I think beforehand I seen that it was associated with LeBron Hive, or I don't know if Clutch Sports name was on it, but I know LeBron and his what he's doing as far as media and his production company and making documentaries, movies. And it was just like, what are y'all doing? Like, really? I mean, it's not even that serious. But these LeBron wants to be known as the GOAT so bad, but who knows what we see what the lengths he'll go, how far he'll go to try to almost not mention Michael Jordan or get his guys to minimize him or their whole group. Just so nobody should give this guy time. And then it was some nice rebuttals out there. One of the best ones I heard was well, if LeBron didn't have Wade, Bosh, Ray Allen, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, he'd be 0-10 in the finals. And I just saw Skip saying if LeBron didn't have Ray Allen, he would be at 3-7. Really, so this guy Rich Paul to come out and say something like that, they're just disrespectful, but they're just looking to get people riled up. It worked. I'm saying something about it, but shaking my head is almost like, dude, enough is enough. Focus on the current NBA, or I don't know, but hey, that's his podcast. I'm sure it's getting numbers. That statement, other statements have got people in the comments. Got Stephen A. Smith and other people making counter arguments. So it worked, but I'm just fed up, and I'm not going to continue to give time and words to Rich Paul. And that's pretty much it, folks. Like I said, the finals are here. New York and San Antonio. Game 1 in San Antonio, Wednesday night, around 8:30, ABC. And I guess the cool thing is we'll have Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, and Charles doing post game and pre game, which I'm glad to see. There's also a split there. Some people are tired of it, but some people prefer the Amazon crew or the NBC crew. Both of those crews are new to the pre and post game as far as the NBA on their respective networks, but still nobody entertains me or says what I want to hear. And those guys who came over from TNT, they just they seem to keep it pretty real. If somebody disagrees, they speak up. If they agree, they agree. It just seems pretty authentic, and I just prefer to just like this podcast where I say where debates often take place. I want to hear a counter argument. I want to hear pushback. Sometimes just everybody making points. Yeah, when it's a time and place for everything. It's a time and place for. It's not always a time to debate, but I think they give a good balance, and there's always something to laugh at. And I appreciate them for keeping that show going, and ESPN taking it and moving it over to their network. And so we get a little more of that before it comes to an end, because um, all things come to an end. And like this podcast is coming to an end. Remember, you can subscribe, if you haven't already, to the All Basketball Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you get podcasts, Apple. Comment if you feel want to give me your pick. Would appreciate it. And as always, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon. This is the All Basketball Podcast. And until next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.